Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's session with some of our upcoming rising stars from the AltUni by Inside I Am Stable. We have with us Paras, Pratik, Harshita, Jatin, and they are special because just last week they presented to the top leadership at Hindustan Unilever at the Hindustan Unilever headquarters in Mumbai, and they managed to impress them with their solutions. It was a project that they worked on as a part of our AltUni's digital marketing program in association with Unilever. After going through multiple rounds of work in groups, they finally went and presented their projects to absolutely the top leadership at Unilever, and they were adjudged winners. But I think more than the winning and the fact that they got a 1 lakh rupee cash prize, I'd like you guys to focus on the fact that they got to learn something and then they got to apply it for one of the world's biggest consumer goods companies. And obviously the amount of work that they put in, and the kind of solutions that they give are actually going to be implemented in the future. So I'm very, very happy to welcome these bright young folks. I'm also young, but they are slightly younger than me. So I can say they are young folks. Thanks, Paras, Pratik, Harshita, Jatin. I'm going to ask you guys to introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are, which city you are in currently, and why did you sign up for this program? And then we'll, dive deeper into your entire experience doing the project and what is it that you learn about digital marketing. So I'm going to start with the lady of the group. Harshita, can you go first, please?
Yeah, sure. Hi, hello everyone. So I'm Harshita Buraria. I did my MBA from IMT Ghaziabad. Post that, I've been working at Vaina Network, which is one of India's largest trade finance platforms. I'm working there as a senior marketing associate. And before that, I worked with PwC and have over almost 4 years of experience. It was 1 year into my job, and I wanted to learn more about marketing, especially performance marketing, and that's when and through the way of performance marketing only I came across this course. I saw an ad on Instagram, and I actually clicked there, filled the form, and that's how I was approached. And that has been my journey.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Harshita. I'm glad people in our performance marketing team are going to be happy that you mentioned this. Okay. Jatin, you want to go next?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jatin. I belong to Pune. Now I'm pursuing MBA in marketing from MIT Pune. Then my background was the engineering, where I did my engineering from SSM College of Engineering, Kankauji. Then as a marketer, as a marketing student, I decided to go to learn about the digital marketing, and I decided I want to grow my career on the digital marketing. So that's why, as Arshita said, I'm also available this course I get admitted this course by looking at the Instagram. So I get admission into that course. After that, from that, the journey has been started. And since the HUL winner.
Awesome, Jatin. Congratulations on being a winner. Paras, you want to go next?
Sure. So thank you, Ankit, and hello, everyone. Good evening to everyone. So my name is Paras Takunda, and I'm basically pursuing MBA from IIM Kozhikode, and I'm currently at Kozhikode in the campus. Like, it's a beautiful campus, actually. So the main motivation for doing this digital marketing was, like, I was into marketing right from the very beginning. That's why I put in my all effort to join MBA. And the main reason was because I don't wanted to go for the finance part because it was very technical. But later on, I found out that there is so much technicality in the marketing itself. And that's where I got to know that I need to do more things. I need to do some live project. I need to do some internship in marketing as well. And that point of time, I think my mind and your connection actually clicked, and I got to get some notification about the live project, and I joined in. And luckily, because of my team and like Jatin and Jigar was there, and that's how we.
Awesome. Pratik, you're the last one today in the group, so why don't you go next?
Hey everyone, I am Pratik Jain from Delhi, and I did MBA in marketing from IIM Udaipur. Post that, I started working with Casio India in brand marketing team. So prior to my MBA, I worked for 3 years with Maruti Suzuki, and like after my MBA, when I worked with Casio India, I realized that digital marketing is something which is extremely important for a brand manager. So that's when I was looking for a course in digital marketing space, and I was looking where I can get a hands-on experience. So that some from somewhere I got across this course by AltUni, and yeah, from there on I enrolled in this course, and that's how my journey began here.
I'm so glad that all of you guys are already marketers or have been marketers in the past, and are doing upskilling and learning about digital marketing. And I'll tell you why. Because just 3 days back, we did a survey on our platform asking people that, what are the domains that you guys are interested in? And amongst the lowest domains that people are interested in is digital marketing. And the reason for that is that most people believe that digital marketing is not a very highbrow job. It's not very difficult. People want to become brand managers and people want to become, CMOs, but they feel like digital marketing seekhne ki zarurat kya hai, right? So that obviously is a myth. One of the things that I keep telling people is that technically there is no such thing as digital marketing. What you're actually doing is marketing in the digital space, right? Earlier you used to do marketing in the real world by putting up, say, holdings outside, or you would run campaigns by sponsoring events, or you would do ads on television, right? Today the channel, medium, place has changed. Marketing itself hasn't changed. However, if you want to grow, and improve your positioning in the world, you need to understand how the entire digital world works. And essentially that's what we try to bring to people with this particular program. So thanks that you guys are talking about the fact that you see the reason and the need to learn digital marketing. So connected to that, my first question to y'all is, what are the things that you were surprised about when you went deeper into while doing either the project or learning about marketing? Because, like, for example, Harshita, you are already a senior marketing associate. Pratik, you have worked with companies like Maruti, you worked with companies like Casio, right? What is it that you have learned which is surprising, which you didn't know earlier, and you changed your mindset about marketing? Something that comes to your mind immediately. The question is also open to Paras and Jatin as well. But since Pratik and Harshita are already doing marketing, I just at the workplace wanted to ask them if there is something that has surprised them that they didn't know. Just generally about the way marketing operates, or how may came across some kind of data or something one of the instructors told you. Yeah, go ahead, Harshita.
Yeah, so the most surprising thing for me actually was that so let's say we're doing a social media post, or we are planning some kind of content, right? So earlier we used to just think about an idea and we just used to work on it. But after starting this course, I realized, even to generate content, there is a whole process. So I would actually like to mention the content marketing class that we went through in one of the sessions at Inside IIM. So there is a whole process to content, which was actually a very big learning, that, you just can't go to market like that. Even your content has to be very well researched, from an insight to a communication idea to everything. So that was a surprise learning for me.
Okay. Pratik, any insights from you?
Yeah, to somewhat what Harshita said. So it's very similar. Like we used to think that digital marketing or whatever we do on social media is quite easy, how we see the ads. So that was like one thing from a consumer point of view. We used to see ads and everything, but to go behind that from a marketing lens to see those things, that was very intriguing for me. And to understand that how the strategy and concept and structuring a problem goes behind it. that's something which was very surprising. And how we learn. So it's not that we learn concepts and start applying it from the day one. It's something that we build over a time through experience. That is one thing in digital marketing or in digital space that we, even though we may learn the concepts, but still the experience part comes in gradually. So that's very interesting part that I found through this process.
Got it. Any views you guys have, Paras, Jatin?
Yeah, so like while working on this project, we got connected with several like different kind of retailers. At that point of time, we felt that they are not in so much of need of marketing as such. But at that point of time, when we came and taught them that what you can do to increase your sales or what you can do to increase your availability in the market, at that time they felt that it's not that much of need. But later point of time when they actually applied it, they actually liked it and they got to know that okay, this thing we can do. Like the world is changing, right? So everything is going digital. So they have to be in that market as well. So that's how they are processing, right? And I think it's also helping for them as well. Even not only for like retailers, for each, like if you go on a cafe, they need some kind of rating, and if you and they are constantly reviewing that. If some rating is going wrong, they're going through that each and every one, so that their productivity and their sales would increase day by day.
Yeah, even I am very conscious about my rating on Uber. How is it that drivers are rating me? So clearly we are in a very different world today. So that brings me to, since you spoke about retailers and the fact that you worked on the project. So quickly, I think all four of you, I think Paras and Jatin, you all are part of the same group, and Harshita, Pratik, I think you all are part of the same group. So do you guys just want to tell us briefly about what your project was about? You all need not take the names of the brands because we are under an NDA, with Unilever. But if you could just talk briefly about the problem statements that were there, that were given to you, and then we can dive deeper into that. So maybe we can start with Paras and Jatin. What was the problem? What was the project that you guys are working on?
So we are working on a project of Project Shikhar, which is a B2B application of HUL retailers, where retailers can order their stocks from that app. So the main problem statement is to increase the usage of the app among the retailers. So we go step by step. First, we did the market research. We went to the different retailers, asked them about the usage of Shikhar. If they are using a Shikhar, what are the aspects they like about the Shikhar? If they are not using the Shikhar, what are the problems they are facing about the Shikhar? And then we also discussed about the different ideas, because it is a project, is a teamwork project. So we get different ideas from different groups.
So essentially, it was a B2B application usage that you had to increase from used by retailers and distributors. Right, that was essentially one of the projects. And so we all only think about digital marketing from the perspective of consumers, but actually there is a lot of digital marketing that happens even on the B2B side, which is when business to business deals with each other. And when that is happening at scale, there's a lot of digital marketing that is involved there. And just for everybody who's listening to this, remember that digital marketing is not just connected to consumer marketing. Digital marketing also exists on the business side, and it's a very, very interesting space. Lot of incredible work is happening, not just on the consumer goods side. There are different industries where a lot of this work happens. So just wanted to kind of highlight that. Okay, Harshita, Pratik, either of you want to talk about the project you guys are working on?
Yeah, so we were working on a product that was launched very recently, and it works in a very niche segment. So our basic goal was to understand the target group in much more detail, and then to come up with an e-commerce strategy and an influencer marketing strategy for this product.
So this product is from which industry?
It's from dishwasher category. So post-COVID, a lot of people are purchasing dishwashers for washing utensils. So the product is is related to that category, and we had
And
to
the
create a
main
strategy.
crux of our project mostly, revolved around who are these, dishwasher users. Because
Right.
it's a very, very niche category. So especially the first phase of our project mainly involved that, finding who these customers are, understanding the consumer. So, and there are multiple now, since you said.
So what did you do to understand your consumer, Harshita? If you can give us some insights on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are, firstly, we know there are traditional ways like, interviews and surveys. So that we did, but what we don't realize, there's a whole new world out there where you can get consumer information, which is reviews, which is YouTube, Instagram. So people are all over there commenting. So that's a very, very big area where you can get your secondary information from. And obviously a lot of reports we read about the market. And as I already said, we did in-depth 5-6 in-depth interviews. We did a survey, and we also tried to understand the main category, which is dishwasher. So
yeah, actually, I had some questions on that. I mean, we have a lot of, given our population and the way the urban structure has been created, there is a lot of domestic help that is available for people who are affluent, or in fact even the middle class, as they say. So does dishwasher as a market exist at all?
Yeah. So during COVID, actually, when a lot of maids couldn't come to houses, people were stranded. So the ones who could afford, obviously, it's an expensive product.
Right.
So there was a push in the sales of dishwasher. A lot of people bought dishwasher during that time. So yes, the market is niche, but it does exist, and and the market is growing every year.
Right.
So
got it. But do people even understand when you did your research? Do people even understand how dishwashers work? Like, what are the mechanics of a dishwasher? Or is it something that everybody's like? For example, I can tell you that until I traveled outside of India, I didn't know how a dishwasher, even mechanically, how it operates, because I'd never seen one in India. So I understand it's a niche product, but just curious, when you are doing your surveys, interviews, do people do any research around how the product actually works? How much information do people actually in India have about this? If you have any insights on that.
Yeah. So, a lot of people actually, what we found out, when people are making the buying decisions, when they are buying before buying the dishwasher, they actually don't know how to operate it, because it is a complicated product. Like how first washing machine came
Right.
in the market, no one knew how to use a washing machine. So this is like that only, but this is for your dishes. So, you'll actually found out a lot of people are searching on YouTube or Google how to use a dishwasher. What if, something doesn't work in my dishwasher? So it is a complicated product. What products to use for a dishwasher, to clean the dishwasher, to clean the dishes. So it's a complicated mechanism. So yes, a lot of people don't understand, some do.
Okay, awesome. So, coming back to the fact that you guys were working in a group for this particular project, I think sometimes there were 2 people in a group, sometimes there were 3 people, 4 people in a group. I think some people might have dropped off and stopped working, etc. as well altogether. So how does the team dynamics work? Because, obviously all of you are in different cities. I think Pratik is in Delhi. Harshita, which part of the country are you in?
When the project started, I was in Delhi, but now I'm in Bombay.
Yeah, so Delhi, Bombay. I think Paras is in Kozhikode, Jatin is in Pune. So I'm just curious to know, how did you all actually work, collaborate together over online? You never having met each other in person until the actual presentation day. And how was that experience? If there are any interesting stories, anecdotes, or learnings about it.
Actually, it was nice because if you are working on a research kind of project for a primary research thing, being from a different city, it's very convenient for us because we'll be able to like put on more market research from different cities. Like I'm from Koipur, I'll put on different kind of research from my city. Jatin is from Pune, he'll put on some research from Pune. So that's how we work, and it was actually beneficial for us as well because we got to know like which kind of segment are there, which kind like the urban segment, rural segment, which kind of segment are working on it, and how they are working, and accordingly we planned out our like final idea that what we can do on it. So like
There
Jatin
was
was
more
working.
diversity because everybody
Yeah.
was in different cities. So you could actually reach out to retailers and distributors across different cities. Got it.
Yeah, and actually, our project was a bit different because we didn't had so much of secondary research because it's not a certain app which we are using. Like it's not a
Correct.
consumer centric; it's a retail centric. So like Harshita's and Pratik project were different. They can actually research what kind of different people, what are they are actually viewing it, what kind of review are they are giving. We are not known about it. We can only get the ideas just by talking to them, just by going to different kind of shopkeepers and knowing what kind of needs they have.
Right.
So that's how we worked about it.
Sure. Did you all fight online ever at any point of time, Paras? If there are, I
No.
think, what, 4 people in your group?
No. We were like three.
You all
Me,
three,
Zubair,
okay.
and Jatin. Yeah.
So did you all have like big disagreements over what we should do, not do?
Actually, we didn't had any disagreement. Fortunately, we were on the same page. Like we were like putting on all different ideas and we were collating it into one. Like, okay, this idea can be put into this one. This idea can be put into this one. So
Sure.
like initially we had like 3-4 ideas, and at the end of the project, like we had like 11 to 15 days. At that point of time, our previous idea went down, and we had to put in new ideas so that it can benefit to our winning. So that's how we work.
Interesting. Harshita, Pratik, first of all, why was your team only consisting of 2 people? What happened to the third person or the fourth person?
Yeah, so the thing was like when we started, we were three. So me and Harshita, since we both are very much close to marketing, working in marketing domains, so obviously there's a connect and we get to understand the marketing nuances very well. So there was a third person, but when we started, we discussed with each other what are the goals, why you have joined the course, what is your end objective, what do you want to get from this person. Eventually, we realized that the third person was not very active, and maybe due to some other engagements of that person had to leave out
Sure.
from the course. So that's when me and Harshita carried on. And the thing was, yes, we had, like you asked him, we did had arguments. We had different opinions among us, but we were always, it never went very intense. So it's good, like we debated with each other, tried to find the rationale behind each other's point. So that was very important. We had a very disciplined kind of thing, like we used to conduct meetings every day. Like we both are working, so we used to have meetings midnight at times, specifically when there were deadlines in September for the first round. So we conducted meetings all, I think, complete 1 week midnight. So that's how we worked. So the level of motivation was very similar between both of us. So that was one thing that I feel was extremely important for both of us to move ahead.
And we didn't particularly have fights, but we did have arguments, say over one idea. We would debate over like 2-3 hours, but that only made the idea stronger because we then used to see all the sides, right? You see it from all the rationals. So I think those arguments only make your ideas stronger, I feel.
Got it. See, I know that you still have interviews which are pending. After your victory, you are going to now interview with potentially Unilever as well. Now, my only question is that, how was the guidance that you got from Unilever? And, who are your mentors from Unilever who helped you while you were working on the project? What were the insights that you got from them?
Okay, so we were like mentored by Priyas, and
Sorry, who by
was
who?
by Priyas. Sure.
Can you mention his full name?
Exactly, no Priyas. Like we used to call him.
Okay.
So he was really helpful because at any point of time we were about to get some ideas. He was not actually completely asked us to like don't do this. He was putting out some disadvantage and advantage on this. Like what can go wrong on this idea, what can go good in this idea. And accordingly, we used to okay, we can motivate this, we can modify this, and we can go ahead with different idea, and then we put on some different ideas, and accordingly he helped us many a time, and he asked us mainly to focus on the primary research, because that's how we can gain on the what are the pain points of the retailers, and because sometimes secondary research might not work, and primary research are the basis from which we can go ahead with the project.
Sure. Yeah, Arshita.
Yeah, so we were mentored by Suraj. He's a senior brand manager at HUL. So, he guided us throughout, 4-5 weeks. So the main learning from him was that, put a number behind everything. Research a number. See if it will work practically. See if it, it is meeting the requirements. And also, always, look into the ideas which fit the broader audience. Don't just look into very, very specific ideas, because already your audience is small, right? So you need to, work on the idea which is suitable for all audiences. And Prateek can maybe add to my points.
Yes. We had about a month where we interacted with Suraj. So we had few insights from the basic data that was provided to us in the beginning. So we had few insights. Suraj liked those ideas and wanted us to build on those ideas. So that was very important. We had many ideas, so he channelized us in specific direction. Whatever ideas he felt we can build on and can be scalable and practical from a real consumer point of view. So that was very important. We had many ideas, we were discussing a lot, but eventually we were channelized to specific things that we should build on and do some practical stuff which is possible in real life scenarios. So that was the main part. So much.
Awesome. Okay, I just want to talk about who are your favorite instructors when you did the program. I'm sure there will be some sessions. I think Harshita already spoke about content marketing earlier. But if you can name your favorite instructors or sessions that you enjoyed the most when you were doing the program, or you felt you learned the most in, if you can talk about briefly on that one by one. Jatin, you want to speak? You haven't spoken for a while.
Yes. All the sessions, the best part of this course is all the sessions were engaging. So first,
tell us who were your favorite ones.
The performance marketing, because I want to know about the how performance marketing works. So it gives me the practical knowledge and theory knowledge, and this also build my knowledge about the performance marketing.
Got it. What about you, Paras? You're on mute, Paras. So
I was basically more toward the content marketing, and actually I did some content marketing in my internship as well. So I was more focused on that, and getting a huge lot of ideas that how can your content can be more visual to the audience, how it can grow, and I guess Manav Mohan was there on, so who helped us very much, and it was really helpful.
Okay. So Manav was your favorite instructor. Harshita, what about you?
Yeah, like I mentioned, the content marketing, Punita ma'am, and also performance marketing, Manav sir, my favorite. I really enjoyed both of these sessions.
Awesome. Prateek, what about you?
Yeah, it's very similar, nothing different. So content marketing was the best because it was very engaging session, and we had few assignments as well to do. So we got a chance to do some real stuff. So that content marketing sessions by Punita Parikman was the best, and obviously the performance marketing, because it was very elaborate, and we had, I think, 4 or 5 sessions on performance marketing. So getting to know in detail about performance marketing was another aspect that I really liked by one-on-one. So these two were the best for me.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, guys, once you were, selected for the final day pitch, were you sure you were going to win, or how confident were you on a scale of 0 to 100% that, okay, I think we have a very strong chance of winning? Because you would not have known how the other teams were performing, right? At that point of time, until the actual day, everybody is in some other part of India. They're all working on their own projects, etc. So what was your, and how were you all thinking that, okay, we are going there? What was your long term? I mean, were you just thinking, ठीक है यार अब बनाया है तो चले जाते हैं and present कर देते हैं? Or how were you thinking about the pitch? Because you are going to meet some of the most senior people at Unilever, and they're actually looking for these solutions in their real work on a day-to-day basis, right? So it's not like an academic presentation you are doing like, I mean, most of you all are MBAs, so it's not like doing an assignment, for your, professor. You're doing this to actually, it's going to be applied in an actual business. Sorry, I was just getting Jigar on board. So what was your thinking while you were coming to Bombay for the presentations, and what was the planning, excitement / confidence level about, okay, we are going to win this? Who wants to start?
So I'll start. So if you're talking about confidence level, it was 9.5 out of 10. And 0.5 is because I was very nervous, because for the first time I was representing the big leader of the HUL, and that was a great thing for me. And we were confident because we put in like so much effort, like we put in our day and night, and we were working on it like very hard working we did. And just because of our so much research and so much of ideas we put in, and that's how we thought that yes, we can be confident about it. And I think Jigar can also put in some ideas and put in.
So yeah, Jigar has joined us late. Jigar is also from the winning team from the Shikhar project, the B2B project that we spoke about earlier. So Jigar, why don't you introduce yourself, who you are, what you do currently, and why did you sign up for the course? And also tell us how confident you were before coming that you were going to win this.
Hi, everyone who's watching us. I'm Jigar. I've done my BBA ASIS. I currently work with one of the leading financial institutions of this country as a product manager. So the reason for me to move or to do this particular course was I work on digital products specifically, and these buzzwords that you keep hearing in digital like SEO, SEM. How do you get more users? So, all of this motivated me to do this particular course. In terms of, the confidence which we had prior to our presentation, as Paras mentioned, we put in a lot of effort each day. So it was a compounding result which came towards the end. And yeah, we were pretty much confident that we'll put up a great pitch. And, I think so, kudos to the mentor also. So we had a dedicated mentor from inside IIM as well as HUL. So Vignesh is not there on this call, but a big shout out to Vignesh from inside IIM. He was there at each step to guide us as to, what should be there in the presentation, what are things that we can avoid, how can we refine our PPT. So big shout out to him.
Awesome. Vignesh, by the way, is the person who heads product and program development at AltUni, and he is, I think, one of the biggest people responsible for upskilling over 1,000 people over the last 1 year or so. So yeah, big shout out to Vignesh. Jigar, I think your screen is frozen or you've gone off. If you could just switch on your camera. Yeah, okay. So yeah, moving to Pratik and Arshita on how they were feeling about the work that they had done and how confident they were about winning the project.
So I don't know about winning, but we were sure that the audience would be impressed, because from consumer research to strategy to making a prototype of every idea, which was obviously Vignesh's suggestion to us, that you should have a prototype of everything. So we were, and plus obviously we had chalked out a lot of ideas. So we were very sure that people would be impressed. Winning maybe like 8 on 10 or something like that, because we didn't know what others were doing. So yeah, not so sure about winning. but we were very sure that people would be, impressed by us.
And what worked on which you had not done? While you must have obviously been listening to their presentations also, and you would have suddenly realized, oh, these guys have actually done this research, or they have covered this angle that we haven't covered. Did you feel that at any point of time when the PPTs were happening? Of course, you feel that you've done the best, and obviously you'll also won. At the end of the day, you all got a cash prize of 1 lakh rupees each. But each teams, I mean. What were the things that you think that you guys missed, which other teams brought in?
Okay, so I'll talk about what I felt. One of the teams had a really good keyword research analysis. I think it was the third group. And I was actually really blown away by that. And I was like, yes, maybe, we could have done this. That was one of the things I thought maybe was, we could have done this. Yeah.
Jigar, anything you guys thought was there, which other teams had done that you all had probably missed out on?
So I think so there was one team which focused on how do we reach out to a rural shopkeeper. And I think so that was something which we did not incorporate, or we did not look at the tier 2 or tier 3 markets. We were more driven to tier 1 and metros, and how do we reach out to those particular set of users.
Sure. By the way, there's one question I asked the others, which, you joined late, so we missed that. Who were your favorite instructors / which was the module that you liked the most when you were doing the course, which you still remember? Like, for example, Jatin spoke about performance marketing and Manav Mohan, and Harshita spoke about Punita Parekh and Manav Mohan again. So any module or instructor that you found memorable as a part of the program?
So two people who I'd like to mention over here. One is definitely Punita Parekh for content marketing. I think so the way she taught us content marketing is something which was very, very practical. It wasn't theory at all. So you had to do live. You could say, let's say you had to make some content. Think of a brand. We were given an ice cream brand, and Pratik and I have jointly worked on it. So how do we position? How do we make some content around it? That was one piece. Second was a session by Sampark Sachdeva, who taught us about personal branding. So how do you build your brand on LinkedIn? What are some things which you should keep doing constantly? So I think the Sampark session was also really very great.
Okay, awesome. We have a new cohort that is starting on 4th of March, which is just a few days from now. And they are, I'm sure, keenly watching this, or it will reach them eventually. Any suggestions / things that you would ask them to, take note of in terms of preparation? I'm sure they also want to, do well in the project with Unilever and win like you guys did. We'll do one more session with you all once you all do your interviews, and if you all get offers, how you all crack the interviews. But with respect to the course and the project, if there are any suggestions that you would want to, or any advice that you have for the new cohort that is joining, any one of you all can start. Open to everyone.
One thing I wanted to add, if you are working on a project and if you think there's this one big idea, it's not that simple. You have to break it down in piece by piece. That's what Priyas told about, our mentor. You don't have to go on that, okay, this is the idea. You have to go on piece by piece and look on to this, what kind of different pain points are there in that ideas. So that's how we work on a project. And I think Jigar and Jatin both worked on it really well. And I guess on the course part, I think all the different content marketing, influencer marketing, all things are there. You have to clearly listen to it and also go on solving the different assignment they are giving you, because that actually helps you and that actually builds your digital marketing knowledge more. And so that's my advice for the project and course.
Got it.
Adding to Paras' point, you have to work on step by step. So at every step you get a different idea. So you also, and I have mentioned earlier that we have work on a team. So every team member has different ideas. So they will give you the different ideas. Then you will discuss the idea, and after all, this helps us to win for a project, winner as a winner for the project.
Yeah. Any other suggestions for the new batch that is joining?
In terms of the course, I think so. One thing which I'll mention is that please feel free to ask as many questions as you want to the instructors. Don't hesitate in terms that this is a silly question or this question will it add value to the others. Keep your questions meaningful. Yes, we did have people who would take a lot of time, but it's good that you ask the questions because it will help you later on in terms of your final project. Like you will be able to put across a lot of learnings from your coursework to your final project.
Yeah, I think that's a general good point, Jigar. Please ask questions, guys. That is one of the biggest learnings that I have had over all my own learning experience as well. And I completely agree with Jigar that even at AltUni, even the instructors that we have like the fact if people are interacting and asking questions, because they are also doing it, as a means to interact with young people who are currently working, and that curiosity makes them do their job better as well. So yes, I think asking questions is a very meaningful advice. So I second that. Yeah, Pratik, you were also saying something.
Yeah, in addition to what Jigar said, so also listen to the questions that are asked by other students, because that also gives some new perspectives to you. So attending a session is very important, and then listening to other questions and queries is also important. That will eventually help you during the case studies. If you read the case study round and you get to work with HUL, then that all the sessions become extremely important from a knowledge perspective. So that I would suggest.
Okay, Harshita, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, so I have like 3 suggestions for the live project. Firstly, whatever you see in the courses, please apply all of that because it'll help you somewhere. Rewatch the recordings, watch the sessions, and but apply that. That somewhere something will help. Definitely, it'll actually help me a lot. Secondly, whenever you're given a problem in the case study, don't just jump to solution. The first and the foremost thing is understanding your market and consumer. So that I feel is really really important. And third, which a lot of people don't tell, please have your calculations in place, because unless your idea is realistic and practical and with numbers, so then only it'll work.
Yeah, marketing is very quantitative. Unfortunately, people feel that marketing is just about ideas. Everybody talks about content, but content is only important and relevant if it can be measured. Then what is the impact that it is having, right? And to that extent, I think the importance of being able to break down everything and to have a quantitative backing and data, which will ensure that your solutions actually have weight, I think is great advice. Not just for this live project, I would say that any work that you do, it's important, and especially in marketing, because there is this perception that a lot of it, I think 100% of marketing is now numbers based. While ideas can be a starting point, you need to test out everything, and that eventually needs to result into numbers. So yeah, great suggestions from all of y'all, and thank you so much for taking out time and taking us through this particular journey of yours. A big congratulations to y'all, because over 75 people participated in the project, and only finally, after going through multiple rounds and many months of waiting, finally you all emerged as winners. I think cash prize is a great bonus over and above the fact that you all won at such a prestigious thing at the Unilever headquarters. Again, not something that most people in the country get an opportunity to do. I'm very happy that we as AltUni and Inside IM were able to play some small part. in making this particular thing happen. And obviously, we are committed to ensuring that you guys now, finally crack the interviews and, get the job that you all so crave as well. And we'll try our best to help you, mentor you. There'll be sessions for interviews, practicing interviews, etc. as well, as the days go by. But amazing to see the unity in the team. Even today, Jigar, Jatin, and Paras, I think, could potentially participate in more projects, and I think they could win. Just looking at the chemistry on the screen, from a distance, I can say that. Obviously, I was also there, at Unilever when I saw you guys participating. But I think that unity seems to be there. And for all the people who feel that people who are in different cities cannot work together and they cannot have the same kind of a bond, I would say that now I have gone through 5 cohorts of the digital marketing program, and I've seen 3 cohorts present at Unilever, and I think that people who want to make it work, they make it work. It's always going to be there. So awesome to see that as well. Awesome to also see that there are disagreements between you all, and you all have figured out a way to kind of manage it. I'm sure there's an IIM Udaipur versus IMT Ghaziabad that Pratik and Harshita were probably experiencing at some point of time during their journey as well, during the project and work. And I hope that you guys stay in touch. I can tell you that the first and the second cohort people are still in touch. They are friends and they kind of exchange notes about other parts of their professional life as well. I think there's a great community angle to this as well. And I hope that you guys, continue to thrive in your careers. You all are definitely AltUni alumni for life now, and we'll continue to help you irrespective of whatever is the result of the interviews, that takes place from here on. So yeah, if there are any final, bye-bye words that you guys have, can hear that, and we can conclude the session. Anything that you guys wanted to talk about, speak about, which I have not covered in the, questions so far, that's also something that you guys can ask, speak about.
I can ask one thing, like, which was your favorite team?
So I think it is unfair because I came after one team had already presented, and there was one other team which was presenting when I had a call. So I think my judgment will not be very unbiased because I haven't seen the others, right? So not fair for me to say that, but I was just genuinely happy that most groups did a fantastic job, because for us, we would want all the teams should have won, right? Because ultimately they're all AltUni candidates. So for us, ideally, we would want everybody to win. What I'm happy about is that most of the people will get a chance to interview, despite the fact that they did not win the the final prize, but they're still going to interview and potentially get a job. So I'm really glad about that. But just generally, I don't play favorites, and I genuinely don't even have any specific preference that, okay, this is the team that should have won or not should have won. Our job is to ensure that they should have a problem कि यार किसको select करे. Everybody is so good, right? So that I think is the approach that we have. So one last question, actually, somebody in the chat has asked is, because you guys are digital marketing students and professionals, what is the impact of Chat GPT on your work? That is the question that I see right now. I don't know if you guys have thought about it, but a lot of people are saying content marketing can be done by Chat GPT, and performance marketing decisions can be taken by Chat GPT and AI. So have you guys thought about this? What will happen once AI becomes prevalent in marketing? Do you think your jobs are under threat, or do you guys feel that how are you going to navigate that world?
So I'll take this up.
Sure.
So I don't think so. AI is going to take up a lot of jobs. In fact, I would say that going ahead, there's a chance that there would be more jobs which might come up because of AI, and the jobs will be different. So definitely your traditional marketing roles, as Ankit mentioned, marketing is no longer going to be just that fancy thing where you think that you are going to be making a ad and you are the only one who is watching it, but it's going to be something where you're going to be making something and you'll have to measure. So with AI or any technology, let's say, that comes in, the key thing will be how good are you at analytics, how good are you at getting those insights, and the third is, even if you get those insights, what are the actionable? And precisely these were the three things which were required in our project also at Unilever. So they wanted that, okay, if you got some insight, how are you using that insight? So that is more or less what is going to happen ahead.
So I have actually used Chat GPT recently. Only I've started using it. So I don't feel it would take away the job. It would actually help the marketeers a lot. You can't just expect an answer from Chat GPT without knowing it, right? You first have to give an insight. Then only Chat GPT will make your life a little easier, but it cannot replace you. It will aid you and will make your life much better. For example, you want to write an article, you have all the crux, you just want to make it a little better. You can give the reference, but at the end you only have to decide whether what article Chat GPT has given me, will that work. It's at the end, a person is needed behind the computer to finalize things and to give the insights, because a computer will only Chat GPT will only tell you how much you want, right? You can only extend your learning
So the trick lies in asking the right question.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there is one more question I'd like to take, which is what is the how do you guys measure success? So I mean, given that you guys are already doing some kind of marketing, I think we spoke about analytics and the numbers, etc. But I mean, since it's a question that is asked, I'm just asking, what is the how do you measure success in a campaign? How do you know that you are doing a good job? Because people used to earlier give things like impressions and CTRs, etc. But I think at the end of the day, business runs by cash flowing into the company, right? Or some particular objective being achieved. So how do marketers today, measure success? And what are the metrics that you guys look at when you are doing your own work? Specifically, Pratik, Harshita, if you guys want to take it, because you are doing marketing work right now. Jatin, if you're doing any performance marketing.
So things that I generally use a lot is lead generation. Like, I see how many leads my campaign has generated. Obviously, there are a lot of other things like website visit, views, impressions, engagement, comments, likes. There are a lot of other things. But what I generally judge it on, what I'm getting to the company, that is lead gen. So that's what I judge my campaign.
Yeah, and I think then once the leads have come in, you need to kind of classify them as qualified, unqualified leads, and knowing what are the real quality of that particular lead as well. Because in India, the population is so huge that getting leads is never often a problem in terms of quantity. But knowing that we've got the right lead, who is likely to convert or has the right intent, also becomes like.
But if you target it to the right audience, you will get the right leads.
Correct. And to know how to target, better, you should join our course. But yeah, Pratik, you are also saying something.
Yeah, so basically, like you asked, the question is about what is success. So like every task has a certain objective. Like for me, if I'm running a social media campaign, putting up some creatives on social media. So if my objective is to drive engagement, then I'll be looking at how many likes I'm getting, how many comments I'm getting. So this is one way. So if I'm looking at awareness, so I will see the number of views that are getting on my reels. There are many tasks in marketing, and for every task we have a certain parameter, like we say KPI, key performance indicator. So we have that for certain tasks, and we measure performance based on that. So that's how I think it works on, especially in digital. I mean, like Ankit, you mentioned in the starting that in traditional marketing, it's difficult to measure. For example, I put up something on billboard. I won't really get to know how many people saw that video. So that is one aspect in digital that comes really handy, and why people are moving toward digital is because it's easy to measure. So I know how many people have seen my creative, how many people have seen my post, to how many people I have reached. So it's much more easier in digital space than in traditional marketing. That's why the world is moving towards digital as well. So that is how it happens.
Awesome. There is one question from Deepa Raman. Her question is, what is the minimum percentage required in graduation to get a job in digital marketing? Deepa Raman, I have a shocking answer for you. And that is that you don't even need to be a graduate often to be able to do digital marketing, right? Digital marketing is a skill. And if you know the skill, you don't need graduation or a minimum percentage. Having said that, there are certain companies in India and abroad who look for certain minimum qualifications. So certain companies might say that, okay, you need to have a minimum of 50% or you need to have a minimum of 60%. But there is no real answer to that because different companies will have different thresholds. I can tell you that as startups, I mean, we've hired a lot of people who are not even graduates. And we don't really look for, academic qualifications always, because that's not something that we're more interested in knowing what your real skill is and what is it that you can do. And if you've done, for example, live projects, or if you demonstrated some real work, then, having a minimum percentage tells me nothing. By the way, there are people with very high 10th, 12th and graduation percentages, but they're absolute duds when it gets to, when it comes to getting the job done. So I don't think that is necessarily a great measure of somebody's skill. As long as I think you've done a great job, I think it is absolutely fine. Xavier Lalru Takima has asked, I don't know if this is a real name or maybe that is a surname that I'm not familiar with. How do you manage the course with your work? So how did you guys manage your course with your work, guys? Given that most of y'all, you're doing a heavy MBA, Paras, and all the others seem to be in some kind of a job. Jatin is also doing an MBA from MIT. So how did you all manage the additional, coursework along with your? I'm sure there have been times when your bosses have been, very hard on you for doing other work that you need to do. So how did you manage both? That's a question that Xavier is asking.
Actually, inside I'm helpless in this. They actually managed it so that it can be on like Saturday or Sunday. Like it was on a weekend, and some part of it was on some like holidays or something. So it was according to our time. So that's how we work. And if we talk about that, how we manage our time, then they also put in recording sessions as well, so that if you miss out something, you can go on the recording session. But one thing which we have to be clear about is every time we get certain kind of assignment, we have to complete. So that's how we manage. Like if today we are getting, they give us enough time, like approximately one week or 2 weeks, so that we can complete that part of job which we are doing.
And I think so the sessions were well placed. So it's not like, you'll have a lot of back-to-back sessions. There'll be some gap in the middle as well. So you can manage your work along with the sessions.
So guys, all our sessions take place over weekends, and recordings are available now on an LMS. So I don't think that should be a challenge. We do ask people to do a minimum attendance so that because nobody who has attended the sessions, who's not attended the sessions, has ever qualified for the project or gone ahead. Eventually, people who are interactive and who are participating in most of the sessions live are the ones who end up doing well in the course. So we have a minimum attendance criteria, which is not very strict, but we need people to be available live, interactive, and all our sessions happen on the weekend. So that is an investment that you need to do in yourself, if you want to upskill and grow in life. So you can manage it. I think these are examples of people both studying as well as people who are working in very, very high demanding jobs who are able to do it. So there is no reason why you can't do it as well. Okay, we are at 9 p.m. and I must end the session today. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. I will let you guys go. It was great speaking to you, and congratulations once again. And I hope all of you a lot of success, not just with the Unilever interviews, which are going to be underway, but also with any other endeavor that you do in digital marketing. Remember, you are AltUni alumni for life, and we will help you every step of the way for the rest of your life. Thank you so much, and good night, everybody who's watching this.